Wait. You waiting on the sheriff to get here?
Do
Is
you
that what's going
realize
on
the
here?
views I'm going to get off this, Patrick? This one's going to go viral for sure.
You waiting on
Shut down the meeting for a half hour just because you guys couldn't handle a couple songs.
You waiting on the sheriff?
There is no law being broken.
So,
There is no law being broken.
okay, Mr. Spees and Mr. Irving.
There is no law
What I'm
being
gonna
broken.
ask, listen, what I'm gonna ask is that you just move down
No,
a ways.
No, we're okay. Thank you. We
Okay,
decline.
well here's part of the problem. When I come in and you are actively yelling, you are disrupting
We're
the
in
meeting.
recess right now, and
wasn't
there's no
actively
disruption.
yelling. What are you
happening, so
talking
catch
about?
up on things.
So-
before we start
Talking
using
about
violence.
actively yelling.
So here's the thing. Per the county commission and per the sheriff, if you are not going to have a seat or move down, I'm not asking you to remove your sign at all. I'm just asking you to move away a little ways from staff. That's all I'm asking.
Under what grounds? What am I doing wrong?
Because they
Now
do.
remember, this is an ask. We're not being told under threat of arrest, so we're going to decline.
Building a public meeting.
Thank you.
I can stand right here. if I
Okay,
want to.
so here's the thing. I'm gonna,
Channel.
yes, Lieutenant Channel.
Oh,
So I'm
Lieutenant
gonna, I'm gonna ask you to
She's
move
asking,
down.
we're going to decline. Thank
But
you.
here's the thing, if you don't want to, then I do not have a choice but to ask you to leave. And it's
Okay,
actually
she's
not
gonna-
an ask,
She's going to ask
I'm
us to
gonna
leave.
leave.
but it's actually not an ask.
is
I
it
am
then?
gonna
What
have
is it
to
then?
tell you to leave on behalf of the
I
county commission.
decline.
They've
On
asked you
behalf of
to.
the
I
county
decline.
commission, okay, we're declining. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to decline that. Thank you.
Okay, then you're gonna have to walk out with
I'm
me.
not leaving.
We're gonna
I'm not
decline.
leaving.
Thank you.
Okay, then per the sheriff, I'm gonna have to arrest you
Under for what? What am I
Under
doing wrong?
what?
for disrupting a meeting. at
We
this
are
point.
not in, the meeting's in recess.
We cannot continue the meeting at this point.
No, they cannot continue the meeting. That's not on us. We just have a sign. And you have the whole room here saying it's not a
The
problem.
charge is disrupting a meeting? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
We're in
Actually,
recess
it is.
right
How
now.
have I, how have I
They
disrupted the
cannot,
meeting?
they cannot
We were
continue the
silent for
meeting.
the whole meeting. I've got
So-
evidence that we
How-
didn't disrupt the meeting.
Hold on, Michael.
Right now-
Hold on, Michael. How can't they? How can't they continue? How can they not continue the meeting? What am I doing that's stopping the
Here's the
meeting?
thing, you have options.
No,
You can
I'm
either,
staying. Thank you, Channel.
okay,
Let's
well,
start the meeting.
well, you're not
Everybody,
though,
here
that's
we
the
go.
problem.
Hey,
Interference with
Mr.
what?
Spears, Mr. Spears, you're under arrest.
For what?
You need to place your hands behind your back.
For
You're under
disrupting a
arrest.
business meeting and refusing to leave.
For disrupting a meeting?
Take that, Michael. Take that. No, get your hands off.
I've got it.
Place your hands behind your back for me. Thank you. Stay right there. Don't move.
Back on the record at 11:12.
All right, Mr. Spees, we're back after a quick break. Are you ready to continue?
I'm ready.
Okay, and just to confirm again, your phone is not recording?
That's right.
Okay,
Are you
What
going to
it-
ask me that every time?
yes.
How
Sin-
come?
Because it's propped up facing you, so I can't see
Is
if
your
it's
phone
recording or not.
recording?
Pardon me?
Is your phone recording?
No, it's not.
Okay.
So everyone talked about the May 1st, 2024 meeting. Were you present at that meeting when Commissioner Wiley read the county's updated public comment policy?
I believe so.
Okay, and she indicated it was based in part on guidance from a federal court decision. Do you recall that?
I don't recall if she said it at that meeting or not.
Okay. And that policy that she read at the May 1st meeting was that speaking time was limited to 3 minutes. Did you hear that?
The 3 minutes has always been a part of their speaking, what they say there. The other stuff comes and goes. It's inconsistent. So that one, the 3 minutes, I think is where they always say that. So if they read their policy there, then they would have said that.
And one of the other policies is you can't donate unused time to other speakers. Did
I
you hear
believe
that?
so.
Okay. And part of the policy that Commissioner Wiley read during the May 1st meeting was that comments must address topics within the jurisdiction of the county commission, and that the commission needs to maintain decorum of the meeting, and therefore prohibits public comments that are threatening, aggressively hostile, or belligerent, fighting words or slander or speech that invades the privacy of individuals, unreasonably loud, disruptive, or repetitive, or that interrupt or substantially interfere with the board's ability to conduct county business.
What's the question?
Did you hear that?
I don't recall if she said that.
Do you recall if she said the commission reserved the right to mute or remove any speaker who violated the public comment rules?
I believe so.
And at that meeting, you were standing at the front of the, this meeting was not held at the old courthouse, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, this was held at the annex building?
What do you mean by annex building?
Sure, it was held at a building that's adjacent to the Douglas County Jail, close to.
It's in that area. I think it's called like the Public Works Building. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it is by the jail.
Okay. Different building than the old county courthouse where the commission meetings typically were?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know what the purpose of the May 1st meeting was for? Was there a specific topic that was being addressed?
They had topics on their agenda.
Okay. Was the subject of wind energy on their agenda on May 1st, 2024?
Yes.
Okay. And there were lots of members of the public in attendance at that meeting. Is that true?
What do you mean by lots?
Almost all the seats were full?
All the seats were full.
Okay.
Not almost. All the seats were full.
Okay.
But does that mean lots? What do you mean by that?
I tried to clarify that, but all the seats were filled with people, members of the public?
All the seats were full.
Okay. And at the beginning of that meeting, you were standing up by the front next to county staff holding a sign that read, "Women have more balls than Patrick too." Is that
Well,
correct?
I think you're mischaracterizing that again.
Okay.
You said at the beginning of the meeting. So when I got there, that's where I was.
Did you get there at before the beginning of the meeting?
I don't believe so.
When did you get there in relation to when the meeting started?
Minute or two or so. I don't recall. Possibly. I don't think I got there when the meeting started.
Do you know how far into the meeting?
I said like maybe a minute or two. I think. I'm not sure.
Okay. When you arrived, you went up to the front of the room and stood next to county staff holding a sign that read, "Women have more balls than Patrick too." Is that correct?
I stood in an area at the front of the meeting.
Okay.
A spacious area.
Were you standing next to the county staff?
What do you mean by next to?
Were you standing next to them?
But what do you mean by that?
Were they seated and you were standing next to?
What actually I
staff.
was standing next to was they had a table right there, and that's what I was standing next to.
And the commissioners were seated on the opposite side of the table. Is that correct? The
A
opposite
different
space.
table.
Okay.
They were on the opposite side of the room at a different table.
Okay. And so the people sitting at the table that you were standing next to were the county staff, not the commission.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I said I stood next to a table. Table was empty.
No one was sitting at the table?
They had tables, I believe there were tables on either side of the podium to speak at, and I stood next to that.
Did you sign?
In that area?
Okay. Did you sign up for public comment that evening?
No.
Did you make public comment that evening?
I tried to. I got stopped again by Karen Wiley for my sign. She stopped me because I had the sign
Okay.
during general public comment for a sign.
And I think you started your public comment discussing the comment that you discussed earlier about a woman made a comment about Commissioner Wiley and she appreciated her listening to her and her stoic demeanor. That's how you started your public comment on May 1st, is that correct?
Well, I don't necessarily think that's how I started. I think I made a comment that the people there are lucky that they have a sign that they agree with. I think that's when I said that, because there were signs in that meeting. People in attendance had signs as well, and I remember commenting that well, you guys sure are lucky they agree with your signs, because you'd be out of here if they don't agree with it like they are with me. And so I think that's how I started it. But I did say what you just said there. I did say that.
Okay, so you were standing with your sign and you said, Karen, I want to begin by saying I appreciate your stoic demeanor and that you give the impression that you're really listening to us.
Well, I think I was quoting somebody that had said that at a prior meeting.
You said she was allowed by the commission to say that without interruption or muting her microphone.
Yep,
And then after you spoke the words that are on your sign, you were interrupted.
I was
Or stopped.
stopped from speaking.
Okay. And
Had my rights violated.
Commissioner Wiley asked you to put your sign down. Is that correct?
Yep. She said, I'm afraid we're not going to allow the sign.
And what did you say?
Why not? What's wrong with the sign, Karen? What's wrong with the sign?
And what did she say to you?
Nothing.
Okay.
Couldn't get an answer. Couldn't get an answer.
Did she tell you you were allowed to stay at the meeting?
I don't think so. I don't know. Did she say that? That I'm allowed to stay at the meeting?
Yes, you were allowed to stay at the meeting.
Are you saying she responded to me saying, what's wrong with the sign? She said, you're allowed to stay at the meeting?
But we're done with your public comment. Thank you. Did she say that?
I think she said, we're done, you're done with your public comment.
My name is Dr. Justin Spees. At last week's meeting during general public comment, someone said of Commissioner Karen Wiley, quote, Karen, I want to
I
begin by
believe, Justin,
saying
we're not going to allow the sign this time.
I appreciate your
So if you could
stoic
please put
demeanor.
it down, that would be wonderful.
What's wrong with the sign?
You've
What's
been-
wrong with the sign,
You've been
Karen?
warned.
What's wrong with the sign?
Do you have any other public comment that is unrelated?
I sure do. They said, Karen, I want to begin by saying I appreciate your stoic demeanor and that you give the impression that you're really listening to us, and I appreciate that to no end. She was allowed by this commission to say that without interruption or muting her microphone. After her, I spoke and said the words out loud that are on my sign and was muted.
Justin, I
you
need to
all
have
allow
you put the
praise but
sign
not
down.
criticism?
And I think we're done with your public comment. Thank you very
I'm
much.
not
You're
allowed
welcome
to say
stay.
what's on my sign.
Thank you.
In previous meetings,
Is there anyone else who would like,
praise on the commission without being silenced, without fear of being silenced. They were
I think we could,
We're here to thank you for your part.
Thank you, Chad.
I appreciate the effort you all.
is there anyone else who would like to give public comment? Since
Justin,
we're
you're
done with
welcome
this
to-
one.
Justin, you can stay for the meeting with us, but your public comment is ended. So the chair is going to call on the next person for public comment.
Why has my,
Sarah,
this is protected.
we need to get,
What is
yeah.
wrong with what I'm saying?
Okay.
For what? For what? This is. You guys are the best. It'd be perfectly fine.
Justin, you're welcome to stay, but you need to take a seat.
Are you guys all right with this? Just sit there on your hands. Yeah. What is with this? Yeah. It's me right now. Come up here and say something unpopular. It'll be you.
Who else would like to give general public comment?
Sheriff coming? Sheriff coming? These words are really hurtful, aren't they? They're really hurtful. That's your character, Patrick. And it's the truth.
And so when you were speaking with your sign, what viewpoint were you trying to convey at that point?
What I was speaking?
Yes?
What I was speaking.
That women have more balls than Patrick Kelly, too?
What I was conveying is what I said. I said,
What matters of Douglas County business were you expressing
with what?
when you were speaking on May 1st, 2024, with your sign that said, women have more balls than Patrick, too?
Seems like you got more than one question there. Are you saying like what was I conveying with my sign? Or
No,
was
I
it-
asked you what matter of county business were you expressing?
With what? With what I said or with my sign?
Both.
Both. Commission character. That's what I said. That's the words that I said is what I was conveying. My viewpoint. My own personal, unique viewpoint.
And at that point, is when you turned around to the members of the public and spoke to them?
Objective form.
No, I was speaking to the commission. It was still during my 3 minutes.
Okay.
Whether she stopped me or not, I had the 3 minutes. And matter of fact, it was ruled that in this case that once your 3 minutes start, how could you be a disruption when that 3 minutes is your 3 minutes? And so I was still in my 3 minutes of allotted time. Karen Wiley tried to say that she could stop that and end it prematurely, but I had 3 minutes still.
And during that 3 minutes, you turned around and addressed members of the public generally?
Objective form.
I addressed an obvious thing that was taking place in the meeting of the unfair treatment and discrimination that was taking place with people allowed to have signs and viewpoints, and I wasn't allowed to as well. I was commenting on what was taking place in the meeting right then and there.
So you agree you did turn around and address members of the public?
Objective form.
No, I don't. What I said was I was still within my 3 minutes. What I said was still part of my 3 minutes of public comment in my mind.
Had you turned around to speak directly to the people sitting behind you in the gallery?
I turned around, but as I said, my comments were general public comment about something that was taking place in the meeting right then and there. There should have never have been a stop to what I was saying. Like it should never. Once it was stopped, that was something that shouldn't have happened because I have the right to be speaking in there, and so entirely threw off what I was going to say. I mean, you talk about an interruption. It's a total interruption. Like the judge said, I mean, once the 3 minutes starts, you can't be a disruption, so there's no reason for them to stop you while you're speaking. And so once that happens, as you can imagine, it just throws you off. I mean, you have 3 minutes, you know what you want to say, you know what you're going to say, and then you got them stopping you and telling you can't speak. And so total disruption of what I was trying to say. Total disruption of that from Karen Wiley and the commission.
Okay. And you remained at the meeting, is that correct?
I was arrested at that meeting.
Well, you left the podium and you stood in the front of the meeting next to county staff with your sign.
Objective form.
I went and stood back in the same place I was before that I described as an area. There was a table there, a spacious area. That's where I stood. You just said I went and stood next to county staff, but what I said is that I had stood and described it as a different kind of area than what you're describing it as.
You were standing holding your sign in the front of the room near a table.
That's right.
Objective form.
That's right.
Okay. And I think you remained standing in that same spot for about the next half hour during the commission discussion, is that correct?
More or less.
And Commissioner Reed then asked you to stand back next to the wall because you were standing in a walkway and people were trying to exit from their public comment.
Objective form.
She said that she stopped the meeting and said that I needed to step back, and that I was close to staff, whatever that means. Like that's some sort of a rule violation. It's close to staff. And and that yeah, that's what she had said. That's what she said.
Did she tell you you were standing in a walkway in an area where people are exiting from public comment?
She tried to say that, yeah.
And you did not move, is that correct?
Well, I wasn't in that area that she said I was in, so I didn't move.
You didn't move from the place you had been standing?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so when she asked you to step back, you did not do that?
Objective form.
Why would I do that? First
I'm
of
just
all-
asking
first
if you
of
did
all,
it or not.
She asked me, and second of all, I'm allowed to stand there, as was shown when the prosecutor declined to even press the charge against me, and was shown when qualified immunity was removed from those officers. I had a right to stand there. I wasn't in the way. I wasn't blocking nothing. I wasn't blocking anything. Matter of fact, I mean, you're trying to say that she said that I was blocking areas, but throughout all of that, Sarah Plinsky's walking by, people are walking by. They're clearly a gaslight to try and say I was doing something wrong. But I was standing in an area that allowed more than enough room for people to freely walk through there, not blocking a dang thing. You can see it on video as well. People just freely walk by there, no problem whatsoever, including Sarah Plinsky throughout there. And it's total gaslight, to try and get law enforcement to once again kidnap me and batter me and hold me captive for no reason. And they did it. They did it again.
When Commissioner Reed again asked you to step back or leave the room, you didn't move. Is that true?
Objective form.
I didn't move.
Okay.
I didn't need to. There was no reason for me to. It's a public building, public space. Wasn't blocking anything, wasn't preventing anything. Clear as day.
Is there a reason you did not stand next to the wall when you were asked?
Objective form.
I was fine where I was.
That it makes sense to me. Beyond that, I do want to make a point of order before we start public comment and ask, Deputy, can you please have Justin just step back and stand near the wall? We've been very patient. You've made your point. You can still stand there. You've been very close to staff. And I would just like you to step back because that's a traffic way for folks that may be leaving the room after their public comment. So you can just stand right next to Michael.
I don't care if you think I made my point.
So I was speaking to you out of courtesy, and I'm asking the deputy to please have him step back against the wall.
I'm not, yep, you know. Don't.
You can stay, Justin.
I don't.
Patrick, sorry, that was me reading signs. Look at how effective your signs are. Justin, the alternative is to leave the meeting. So either please take a step back and just allow traffic flow and follow the deputy's orders, or please leave the meeting.
Thank you, deputies. I think it's time. I'm sorry. Deputies, please.
No, I'm not doing anything unlawful.
Justin, we've asked very nicely if we could have you either step back or leave the room. And deputies, I think we'll have to make that happen. All right, we are going to move on. We are moving on. Sarah, can we have you go over or I can do it also. Okay, we can take a quick break
announce the first couple names for public comment, and I'd like 5 minutes. So
That
the
would be
first
great.
names are Michael handwriting folks, I'm sorry, Marsha Pohl, and then Charlotte Breithaupt.
Okay.
Those are the first three. So we'll take a 5-minute break, and then we will start with public comment.
We will recess until 6:20. Thank you, everyone. So we're resuming our meeting. On the advice of council, I would like to ask deputies to remove our choose sign holders from the room. I'm very sorry. We'd like to have you back next time, but we have an orderly meeting to conduct here. So deputies, if you don't mind, thank you.
They're not doing anything. They're standing. With a sign. That's no right.
This is a meeting of the people.
Unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
I have asked.
They're not disorderly. They weren't doing anything. Just shouting and had to say something. Exactly.
Just ignore them.
So go on, move on.
Move on, public
Move on, public comment.
Do you want to recess the meeting until we handle this issue or no? It's to you.
I think we will recess the meeting until 6:30.
And because you did not follow the directions of the commission, you were removed.
Objective form.
Well, you'd have to ask them, but I would say the unlawful directions, they didn't have authority to tell me to move in a different location in that public space. But you'd have to ask them.
You were removed at that time.
I was arrested.
Okay.
Yeah, we should. Excuse me, could I get this move just for a minute?
There is no law being broken.
So.
There is no law being broken.
Okay, Mr. Spees and Mr. Irving.
There is no law
What I'm
being
gonna
broken.
ask, listen, what I'm gonna ask is that you just move down the ways.
No, we're okay. Thank you. We
Okay,
decline.
well, here's part of the problem. When I come in and you are actively yelling, you are disrupting the
We're in
meeting.
recess right now, and there's no disruption happening, so catch up on things
So-
before we start accusing
Okay.
guys. Actively yelling.
So here's the thing. Per the county commission and per the sheriff, if you are not going to have a seat or move down, I'm not asking you to remove your sign at all. I'm just asking you to move away a little ways from staff. That's all I'm asking.
Under what grounds? What am I doing wrong?
Because they do.
Now, remember, this is an ask. We're not being told under threat of arrest, so we're gonna decline.
Building a public meeting,
Thank
I
you.
can stand right here if I
Okay,
want to.
so
there.
here's the thing. I'm gonna,
Channel?
yes, Lieutenant Channel.
Oh,
So I'm
Lieutenant
gonna,
Channel?
I'm gonna ask you to
She's
move down.
asking, we're gonna decline. Thank
But
you.
here's the thing, if you don't want to, then I do not have a choice but to ask you to leave. And it's
Okay,
actually not an ask.
she's gonna ask
I'm not
us to
gonna
leave
leave.
again.
But it's actually not an ask.
is
I'm
it?
gonna
What
have
is it
to
then?
tell you to leave on behalf of the
I
county commission.
decline.
They've
On
asked you
behalf of
to.
the
I
county
decline.
commission? Okay, we're declining. Thank you. Thank you. We're gonna decline that. Thank you.
Okay, then you're gonna have to walk out.
I'm not leaving.
We're gonna
I'm not
decline.
leaving.
Thank
Okay, then for the sheriff, I'm gonna have to arrest
Under for what?
you. Under what?
for disrupting a meeting.
We are not in, the meeting's in recess.
We cannot continue the meeting at this point.
No, they cannot continue the meeting. That's not on us. We just have a sign. And you have the whole room here saying it's not a
The
problem.
charge is disrupting a meeting? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
We're in
Actually,
recess
it is.
right now.
How have I
They
disrupted the
cannot,
meeting?
they cannot
We were
continue the
silent for
meeting.
the whole meeting. I've got evidence that we
How-
didn't disrupt the meeting, man.
Hold on,
Right
Michael.
now-
Hold on, Michael. How can't they? How can't they continue? How can they not continue the meeting? What am I doing that's stopping the
Here's the
meeting?
thing, you have
So this is
you
on
have
Armbruster himself.
options.
No.
You can
I'm
either,
staying. Thank you, Channel.
okay,
Let's
well,
start the meeting
well,
there,
you're not,
everybody.
though,
Here we
that's the
go.
problem.
Just hook them, interference with public. Okay.
You're gonna
Hey,
interference with
Mr.
what?
Spears, you're under arrest.
For what?
You need to place your hands behind your
For
back. You're under
disrupting a
arrest.
business meeting and refusing to leave.
For disrupting a meeting?
Take that, Michael. Take that. No, get your hands off.
I've got it.
Okay, place your hands behind your back for me. Thank you. You're right there, don't move.
Disrupting a meeting. What's the charge, guys? Interference with what?
Interference with public duties.
Interference with public
With
duties.
the Failing to have a meeting continue, you're disrupting a public meeting.
Sir, are those too tight for you?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, let me check those for you.
This is free.
Okay, so I can fit 2 fingers in
Bother
those.
to ask me.
It's
Too
protected.
tight to me, not your finger.
Okay, well, let's head out this way.
The
We're gonna head to my
condition
car,
is
sir.
causing the problem.
You're good, you can let go.
Hey, Michael, can you come pick me up?
We're
if I
gonna head
get out
right this
tonight?
way, sir. We're gonna head right this way, sir.
And after you were arrested, you came back to the meeting, is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. And you were allowed to present public comment?
I was stopped from making public comment.
All right, my name is Dr. Justin Spees. Earlier, somebody said that he trusted that you guys do your research on this, and I got to tell you, I disagree with that. I don't trust that you guys did your research on this, and the reason why I don't trust that you guys did your research on this is because, well, aside from the fact that you're incompetent, there's no trust because earlier tonight I was standing in here with my sign, and I just got unlawfully arrested and taken to jail for doing nothing wrong. And now I've come back to the meeting here to speak about how your incompetence leads you to make bad decisions. And it leads me to make signs that say,
Justin, can you pull it back to the wind conversation?
yeah, I'm doing an analogy right now. I'm doing an analogy, so just bear with me, Karen, would you? Can you give me the same courtesy you gave the other guy there that was doing an analogy? All right, so anyways, like I was saying, so my lack of trust in your judgment leads me to make a sign here that says, or hold a sign here that says, Patrick Kelly is a pussy. And so I just want to know, Patrick, as a giant pussy, how much research have you done?
Sorry, Justin, you'll need to pull it back to the wind conversation. And
Oh, okay, so let me ask that again. Patrick, so as a giant pussy, how much research have you done on the wind turbine stuff that we're talking about right now?
I'm afraid the
Shannon.
insults and fighting words
Shannon.
have
Oh,
not been allowed.
that's fighting words?
You're
That's
welcome to stay and you're
Oh, so
welcome to
then
sit
is that
down.
disorderly conduct then? That's
So,
fighting words?
Thank you.
That's
Just turn it
fighting.
off. Who do we have next, Sarah?
Michael Arabi.
Can you please sit down? Your public comment is over.
It's like I got 22 more seconds, so because I haven't done anything wrong, I'm gonna talk for another.
I stopped it.
Oh, you stopped it. All right, well then I guess I got
Right.
about 10 more seconds then. So,
I think it will be
other
the
question
next
I have
person's
is,
turn.
Shannon, as a giant bitch, how much
So we have Michael Aravi,
Yep.
and then Alan Schwartz and Laurel Neese.
Okay, thank you.
Michael?
You started your public comment by saying, I heard someone say that they trusted you. They trusted that you did your research on this, and I got to tell you, I don't trust that. I don't trust that you did your research on this because aside from the fact that you're incompetent, there's no trust because earlier tonight I was standing here with my sign and I got unlawfully arrested and taken to jail for doing nothing wrong. And now I've come back to the meeting to speak about how your incompetence leads you to make bad decisions, and it leads me to make signs that say, and then Commissioner Wiley asks you to pull it back to the wind conversation. Do you recall that?
Objective form.
Are you reading that from the complaint?
Yes.
Though I said that,
Do you recall Commissioner Willie asking you to pull it back to the wind conversation?
yeah, she said that.
Okay. And you responded to her that you were doing an analogy?
Yep.
You said, so bear with me, Karen. Can you give me the same courtesy that you gave the other guy there that was doing an analogy? All
Yeah.
right. So anyways, like I was saying, my lack of trust in your judgment leads me to hold a sign that says Patrick Kelly is a pussy. So I want to know, Patrick, as a giant pussy, how much research have you done? Do you recall saying that?
Well, yeah, I recall saying that. And this was another example of the inconsistencies and the discrimination towards me, is that a few speakers before me on that item was a Zoom speaker, and he was completely off topic to that agenda item. And he said, "Oh, I'm doing an analogy. Can you let me say what I'm going to say?" And so, of course, they let him. Even though it wasn't related to the jurisdiction of their business, like you guys try to say about me. I have a hair thin, like, oh, as soon as they think that. But this guy, he can go off on a tangent on something else and say it was an analogy.
We see this in the state legislature all the time, with abortion, for example, where they tried to pass, this was pre-Dobbs, of course, but they said, we're just trying to make abortion clinics safer, when in reality, they were just trying to reduce abortion. Or they said, we're just...
Stay to the wind topic and leave some
This
other
is an
topics
analogy
behind.
for the wind. This is an analogy, because this is the same thing that's happening tonight. People who are against wind are claiming that this is about protecting their property or protecting whatever. It's about safety. It's not. They just don't want wind.
And so I wasn't afforded the same leeway that they afforded him. So when I went up and tried speaking about the wind, the energy there, item there about that, same thing with an analogy that they let somebody else do. I was not allowed that, and she tried to stop me right then and there. So just more discrimination.
When the commissioner asked you to pull it back to the wind conversation again, you said, Patrick is a giant pussy. How much research have you done on the wind turbine issue?
Right.
Okay. And it was at that point that Commissioner Willie told you that you were using fighting words, and you argued with her, and then she asked you to sit down.
That's a mischaracterization. I didn't
Okay.
argue with her. I asked her, I said, fighting words? So is this disorderly conduct then? Are you saying I'm engaged in disorderly conduct? Because if she's going to say I'm doing fighting words, then that's would be considered disorderly conduct then. Didn't argue. I don't know why you said that. I was asking for clarifications. Was I going to be arrested again then for disorderly conduct? If she's saying that's fighting words, I was looking for clarification. I was just fresh out of jail for another unlawful arrest. So I wanted to know if they were going to do it again based on what she said was fighting words. And of course, she didn't answer. And that ain't fighting words anyways, so that ain't fighting words.
And you remained at the podium and continued speaking after Commissioner Willie asked you to sit down?
Objective form.
After she unconstitutionally stopped my time from speaking for no reason, I continued for my 3 minutes, and Sarah Plinsky, you talk about confusing signals. She kept the timer running and kept signaling how much time I had left till the very end. She stopped it, but so on one hand they're saying I'm done, the other hand the timer's still running, so, Do I have the green light? Do I not? The Constitution says I do, but.
And so after that 3 minutes expired, you remained at the meeting?
I went and stood where I was standing before.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, they didn't arrest me again for that. I mean, stood in the same place. I sat as well, but when I got there, I stood there, and I mean, if they did it the first time, they didn't do it the second time. And matter of fact, subsequent meetings, I stand in that same spot. They don't call a sheriff anymore to remove me for blocking stuff or being too close to staff, and I'm allowed to stand there. I think it has something to do with them, the prosecutor declining to even press that charge is so bogus, and so I'm able to still stand in that same spot. No issues, because they know. We all know. They couldn't do what they did. What
viewpoint were you trying to express during that public comment about when you were commenting on Commissioner Kelly,
The viewpoint that I expressed.
that he was a giant pussy?
The viewpoint that I expressed.
Well, what matter of Douglas County business were you expressing when you were commenting about Commissioner Kelly and being a giant pussy?
Read the whole thing that I said, would you?
You want me to read it again? You said, so anyway, like I was saying, my lack of trust in your judgment leads me to hold a sign that says Patrick Kelly is a pussy. So I want to know, Patrick, as a giant pussy, how much research have you done on the wind turbine issue?
Yeah. So how much research had he done on the item under discussion? Very relevant. Very relevant. I mean, they had talked in that meeting, and other people had talked about how much research they had done into this issue. Same viewpoint I'm expressing there. Hey, how much research have you actually done? It's a legitimate question that I'm raising to an elected official and bringing his character into it, because, you know, as a giant pussy, how much research do you really do into something like this? So it's a legitimate question. Legitimate question about how much time he puts into something and looks into something and takes it seriously. Other people ask the same thing.
So calling him a giant pussy was trying to get a reaction out of him?
Who said that?
That's my question, was it?
I was just stating the truth. I mean, no different than somebody else that says, "Hey, Karen, you're stoic. You're stoic."
And Karen, I want to begin by telling you that I appreciate your stoic demeanor, and that you give the impression that you're really listening to us. And I appreciate that to no end. Tonight, I have a copy of.
So you think being stoic and being called a giant pussy is the same thing?
Objective form.
I didn't say they're the same thing, but if you can say something about somebody's character being a good thing, why can't you say something that's the opposite of that? Why couldn't you do that? Why do we have to just say nice things to these people, and if you don't, then you're out of there? Why would that be the case? It's called free speech. They can't shape the narrative of what gets said inside there. They can't do that. Why would they be able to do that? Somebody will watch the meeting and just see that they're great. They're good people. Only positive comments here. And the reason why is because all the negative comments are not allowed. And if you say something negative, you get armbrister called and you get arrested for no reason. So why would they be able to just allow one viewpoint in there, the positive one? Why? Total viewpoint discrimination. And it's compelling speech as well. It's compelling speech as well. It's basically saying, Justin, you can talk here. Just don't call us a pussy. Say we're stoic, and then you can talk. That's compelled speech. That's compelled speech. And serious consequences as well. I get arrested for it. Serious compelling of speech. Serious compelling of speech. That's illegal. It's not allowed under the Constitution. I mean, just think about that. People watching these meetings, all they're going to see is just these nice, great things that are said. Everything's just fine there. But the reality of it is, there might be a different viewpoint about those commissioners, scrubbed from the record. Scrubbed from the record. Where all the people that dissent to these people? Is everyone happy with this commission? Well, yeah, but they're in jail. The people that dissent, he's in jail. So yeah, it's a total narrative shaping of the official record of what's allowed to say inside there. Totally illegal.
So again, calling Commissioner Kelly a giant pussy, you believe is a matter of Douglas County business?
Objective form.
His character is a matter of Douglas County business.
How is that his character?
What do you mean? Haven't we been over this already?
Justin, let me make my objections.
All right.
Okay.
I'm just asking how you believe that calling him a giant pussy is his character.
Objective form.
That's not what you asked. Does it have to do with county business? And I would just say, well, how does calling Karen Wiley stoic? How is that county commission business if you're going to apply that standard as well?
Yeah, you told me that the county business was talking about his character, and so my question was, how is calling him a giant pussy a reflection of his character?
Objective form.
What are you talking about? I don't understand how that wouldn't be.
That's why I'm asking you, what does that mean to you?
Objective form.
It means what it means. It means what I said it means.
You haven't told me what it means to you, so that's why I'm asking.
Objective form.
But see, that's the thing, like during that 3 minutes, there's not like you don't need to qualify everything that I say to get it. Please listen to what I'm saying. Please let me get it past this hurdle here so that you guys don't shut me down. It's my viewpoint about him being a pussy, and it affects his job very clearly. He put in a mask mandate during COVID for 2-year-old children. 100% not something that a man would do. And under my First Amendment rights to freedom, free speech, and to redress my government, I can tell him that. No different than somebody doing the same thing, saying they're stoic and that they appreciate them.
After the May 1st meeting, you did return to Douglas County Commission meetings and spoke during public comment, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And at the beginning, were you present at the beginning of those commission meetings when the commission announced their public comment rules?
Some of them, I'm sure.
Okay. And so the 3-minute time limit, as well as the restrictions that public comment be related to the business of Douglas County and maintaining decorum of the meeting, you did hear those rules expressed by the commission.
I didn't say that. They're so inconsistent with their rules. So some meetings they're in, some meetings they're out, some it's this, some it's that.
So are you
Who
telling me
knows?
that during meetings you've attended that the county commission has said you can talk about anything you want, it doesn't have to be related to public or to the business of Douglas County?
I didn't say that.
Okay, well, you said they're in and they're out, so I'm just trying to figure out, are sometimes they read and sometimes they're not?
The rules change from time to time.
Okay.
Unannounced. They're just different. And they're not clear and they won't clarify. So you mentioned earlier about they said recent federal ruling. They won't clarify what that even means. Now they've taken that out. They've taken that out because another recent federal ruling happened as well. So that says they can't do what they were doing. So they took that out. That part out. They've taken other parts out. They've taken the campaigning part out. They put it back in. They're just all over the place.
When you're using words like fuck and motherfuckers and pussy, you're trying to get a reaction out of someone, correct?
Who says that?
I'm asking you, is that what you're doing it for?
No.
Okay. You can't think of any other words to use?
Why would
Objective
I need to?
You don't think those are derogatory terms?
Objective form.
I think that they're protected speech.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I know they're protected speech. I think you know it as well. I mean, just think about it. They're going to say you can't say fuck or motherfucker? For what reason? That's viewpoint discrimination.
What viewpoint?
Even you right now trying to say, oh, you could have said something else. That's not free speech. That's a restriction of speech.
What viewpoint were you trying to express when using those words?
The viewpoint that I expressed and that I answered earlier.
Your personal opinion?
Objective form.
Well, I mean, certainly people can speak during general public comment and give their personal opinions. Why not? I mean, that lady saying that Karen Wiley was being stoic is her personal opinion. That's allowed? Why is that allowed? But yet my personal opinion wouldn't be? Sounds like you'd be a commissioner throwing me out too, is what it sounds like. For words.
I'm just trying to figure out what viewpoint you were trying to convey.
I already told you.
Objective form.
Sure, and you've told me that was your personal viewpoint.
Objective form.
Is that correct?
I said that what I said was my viewpoint. How I express my viewpoint. Not how you express it, but how I express it. As an American. As an American, I mean, how ridiculous would it be, seriously, if you really, there was some words you couldn't say? Is that free speech?
And sorry, I didn't get into your background, but you didn't attend law school, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. What amount of damages are you claiming from Douglas County in this matter?
Say that again.
What amount of damages are you claiming from Douglas County in this matter?
What have I claimed in there? In the Third Amendment amended complaint?
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
Whatever is claimed in there.
Well, I've got two different sets of numbers. There's something called a Rule 26 disclosure, and you've asked for compensatory damages of $500,000, and then answering the county's interrogatories, you asked for $300,000, so I'm just trying to figure that out.
And what's the question?
Which is the correct number?
So where do those numbers come from again?
Here, I'll show you.
Yeah. You know what else is interesting is that...
Yeah, wait, just let her do what she wants.
I'm going to hand you two documents we've marked as Exhibit 1, your responses to the county's interrogatories, and Exhibit 2 is the Rule 26 disclosures. Because you asked me where they came from.
Let me take a look at that.
Here's copies for you, Linus, if you'd like to look at them.
Good.
I don't have the interrogatories for some reason. I only have one.
That's fine.
I'm sorry.
I'll probably have it tonight.
Have you seen those documents before today?
I've seen these, but isn't there a more recent one?
Not that I've seen.
Didn't we just submit one just a week or two ago?
Yeah, I think these are to the county. You answer, these are things that you answered to the county. So you asked me where the numbers I got came from, and that's what I was using these documents for. So on the exhibit number 2 has $500,000, and then the sworn interrogatories that were marked as exhibit 1, you indicate you're asking for $300,000.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out which is accurate.
Well, I don't think either one of them is inaccurate.
Did you say neither one is accurate?
Inaccurate.
What do you mean?
Well, they were submitted. There's nothing inaccurate about them.
You agree they're different numbers. I'm just trying to figure out which is the number you say is.
Well, I think
you're
they're claiming different things. One's compensatory damages, and one is is stating the amount claimed for each such item or type of damages. So one is would be punitive, and one is for things like lost incomes, stuff like that, like it says right here.
Well, that's my question. So in Exhibit 1, the answer to interrogatory number 3, indicating please state the total amount of damages, you indicate $300,000, not including attorney's fees and costs, which are ongoing. Is that correct?
Well, what I'm saying is that they're talking about two different numbers for two different things.
Okay. Well, let's stick with number 3, the answer to interrogatory number 3.
For which exhibit is that?
Exhibit 1.
Exhibit 1.
Yes. And your signature is on the last page of these interrogatories, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So what do you base the $300,000 number on?
Well, things like the amount of money that I was having to spend to defend myself on that charges that they tried to file against me, along with compensatory for time lost for going to hearings and meeting with attorneys and paying the attorneys and being drugged through that whole process and having that continued threat of arrest because I know that they'll do it. They've proven they've done it twice. So having that always looming over my head when I go into these meetings and try to exercise my rights, like am I going to be arrested again? All that stuff.
You said time away, time lost. What time lost from what?
Oh, like I said, things like meeting with an attorney takes up time out of your day to find one and meet with one and drive over there and sit with him and talk to him and pay him. Takes time out from life, from your life. It's a huge disruption in your life, and for no reason too. I mean, it was found out that they shouldn't have arrested me, so it was all for no reason. So this has been to say that it's been a huge inconvenience on my life is putting it mildly. It's a huge understatement to say that. It's life altering, being drugged through the papers, things like that. It was reported just as fact that I had done something wrong there. And then when it was shown that I hadn't done anything wrong, they're completely silent on it. So that's all out there right now. It's always going to be out there that I somehow had done something wrong, even though the truth of the matter, I didn't do anything wrong, and there's been no attempt to correct that public updated record of what exactly happened. In fact, say that Armbruster is the one that actually did it wrong, not me. So all of that factors into it. Completely, entirely had a huge negative impact on my life. Huge. Impacted my relationship with my kids, impacted relationships with people that I knew that saw that in the paper. It should never happened. Should have never even happened at all. It's entirely illegal what happened. So at that point, my life hit that and went in this direction when, because it shouldn't happen, it should have just kept going in the direction it was going. But it was completely thrown off, all because of that guy over there in the county commission.
Okay. And it's my understanding you're not claiming any lost wages?
In terms from a job?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay. And you're not claiming any, you've had any medical treatment or seen any doctors?
I'm not claiming that.
Okay. What is your claim for pain? What does that mean? In the answer to interrogatory number 2, you stated your loss of constitutional rights, attorney's fees and costs, and pain. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, as you can see in the video, and as Armbruster testified to, he started putting me in an arm bar.
For what? Oh my shit. I want my shit, man. What?
treat people with respect. Yeah, man, me too, motherfucker. Me too. Me too. Me too. Me too. Me too. Me too. I'm not
And again, that was, should never happen because it was an unlawful arrest. So as you can imagine, I mean, just think about it for you. You have a sheriff and a deputy, and then a third one joins in, and they start manhandling your arms, and you're bending you over, and your back is hurting. And as you could imagine, the use of force is gonna cause some pain. And so it caused some pain, as you can imagine.
And you didn't see, you're not claiming any medical expenses or medical treatment for the pain?
Didn't I already answer that?
Yes, I just want to make sure as relates to the pain, you haven't seen any doctors?
For this?
Yes.
No.
Okay. And I also believe you said you haven't seen any doctors and they're not making a claim for medically diagnosed emotional distress.
Did I claim that?
Yes, you said you're not seeking any damages for.
No, in the third amended complaint, did I claim that?
That's stated in your answers to the interrogatories if you turn to question 8.
On which one?
On Exhibit 1, number 8. Your answer to that says, I am not claiming medical expenses or any damage implicating my medical or emotional condition. Did I read that correctly?
Yeah, you did, and that's correct.
Okay, that's correct. I just wanted to make sure. Have you ever had a lawsuit filed against you?
No.
Other than the lawsuit we're here about today, how many other lawsuits have you filed?
I filed 6 other ones.
Okay. I know in the videos that you were produced through your lawyer, several came from a YouTube group called the Lawrence Beat. What is your affiliation with them?
No affiliation.
Okay. What about Lawrence Accountability?
No affiliation.
Okay. Do you have your own YouTube channel?
I do.
What is that called?
It's called the Dreaded Rabble Rouser.
Okay.
And the D and the R in dreaded is capitalized.
And when did you start that YouTube site?
September of 2022.
Okay. I think those are all the questions that I have for you today. I know that Mr. Holder has some questions as well, so why don't we take a quick break and we'll get this finished up.
Okay, we're off the record to 11:59.